But yeah, it's 4 hours well spent, honestly. It's just there's a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had to take a break for food and recharge.
They did it. They did all of it. The black suit, Granny Goodness was there. They talked about the nightmare scene. Everything was there.
Hi.
Hello.
Why aren't we talking about this? Move on. Let's go. Skip the intro. Let's go. We need to go now. Let's talk about Snyder's Cut. Snyder Cut now. Snyder Cut.
And I'm John. I'm a Marvel nut.
And I'm Matt. And did you know Jeremy thought this movie was gonna suck?
Chapter 1. The Plot.
Granny fucking goodness.
Granny fucking goodness, guys. And no, that's not a new greeting for your millennial friends or Gen Z friends. She's in the movie.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
What'd she say?
Doesn't matter. Nothing. Who cares? The fact that they got an actress to put on a costume to have that's all that matters. They did it.
She's there.
I cannot believe they did it.
Desaad is there.
But I knew Desaad was happening because of the Funko Pop. Granny Goodness was a complete shock.
That was
my God.
That was obviously the mind-blowing character reveal.
Yeah, it felt like it. I was way more mind blown by that one.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be Martian Manhunter, especially because he was the military guy from Man of Steel coming back.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, spoiler alert? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's like, hey, if you didn't watch the Snyder Cut, listen to this, one of two things. Either you don't
this
care.
One's a little different than theatrical. Because like this one is on HBO Max. I think you can get a free trial. Like,
yeah,
this one I think is what it is.
This one's on you. Go watch the movie. Okay. So let's talk really briefly about the plot. Because I think it's very quick.
It is as we said during the last Justice League comic book that we did.
Orangina.
Yeah, Justice League Oranges.
Who's Regina?
It doesn't need to be a super dense plot. It was paper thin. It worked. It fit, and it got the job done, which is all that we needed.
So basically, the plot is Superman died, so now is the time to get these mother boxes. And Batman decides Batman remembers he made a promise at Superman's grave to assemble a team. So they're doing it. And then they're like, hey, what if Superman was alive? They're like, oh man, that's a good idea. So then they do that and they stop the bad guys. That's the overall.
That's literally
plot.
it. That's it.
Yep.
There's little sprinkling bits in there of different things, but that's the essential plot.
I left out the heaping helpings of lore, of character development, including one Steppenwolf. Like,
yeah,
okay,
man.
We'll get to the changes in chapter 2, but yeah, the plots. So the individual, really quick, the characters' plots. Cyborg has to deal with being a newly formed cyborg being. He has a plot. Which is great. He has to deal with the fact that he has all of this power to control everything because our world revolves around technology. So he has that power to control everything.
I still can't get over all the nukes with a thought.
All of them.
All the nukes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little.
He can mess with the stock market, the nukes, everyone's individual phones, everything.
He stole from the bank to give to that lady.
Sure did.
Hey, I'm down with that. Eat the rich.
Eat the rich.
Jeremy's hot take. Eat the rich.
Hey, there it is. I'll put in the music.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to Jeremy's Hot Takes. Rich people bad? Question mark? No, exclamation point. That's Cyborg's plot. Flash's plot is he has to deal with being fast, and that's basically it. Wonder Woman and Batman both have paper thin plots that they need to get Superman back and they need to save the world. Superman's plot is he gets to come. He's great. God, he's great. Lois Lane's plot needs to deal with
letting
grief.
Go. Yeah.
Zack Snyder's plot is that he has to be able to make his movie.
Yep.
Joss Whedon's plot is that I don't like him.
Flash's plot is he is.
I just said Flash's plot.
Oh, just kidding.
He has to go fast. He's Sonic. He has to go fast.
I missed it. That's how fast it was.
Aquaman's is I don't want to be a superhero, but I guess I'll be superhero, as we saw.
Broody without being annoying about it.
Yeah, and somehow also losing Sexiest Man of the Year in 2017 to Blake Shelton.
Basically the Jon Snow plot.
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's talk about that for 1 second. No, literally nothing against Blake Shelton.
No,
don't hate the guy.
I'll take heat against him.
No. There's no reason to. Because you don't have to curse the darkness, light a candle. But here's the problem. I have heat against everybody who voted. If you voted for Blake Shelton, I hope you stub your toe every day.
That's right.
He's on The Voice and he's a good singer. I don't care. Jason Momoa and Idris Elba are the two hottest guys on earth at all times.
Talking Trades takes on People magazine.
I'll fight people. I will fight People magazine.
Like,
right?
I don't know how. I don't know how.
You know what that's like? That's the reason that Connor McDavid, this is a hockey thing because hey, we're not niche enough, right? Connor McDavid does win the MVP every year, but he's clearly the best player in the league. It's because everyone's like, well, we all know it, but like, who's the guy we're going to give the trophy to?
We have to make it fair.
No, we don't. We don't have to make it fair because God didn't make it fair when he made Jason Momoa.
Give Jason Momoa the sexiest man alive. Then you can move on. Then you can give it to other people.
You can have, you know what? Put the cover be one of the sexiest men alive and make it Blake Shelton. Good for him. He's in the top 3. But he ain't number 1.
Or better yet, Blake Shelton, sexiest man alive, ?
It's an op-ed now. Oh, okay. Well, anyway. Wonder Woman and Batman have basic plots. Steppenwolf has a plot where he is concerned about gaining back his fortune and favor in Darkseid because he crossed Darkseid as one of his generals, so he needs to conquer 10,000 planets. But instead, he finds the anti-life equation for Darkseid, and we will get to this, I promise. He finds the anti-life equation, which would be much more valuable to Darkseid than 10,000 planets. Granny Goodness's plot is that she's in the movie, and I'm super excited about it.
She held a staff.
Yep.
It's so exciting.
That's it. That's all we got.
She's so evil.
She took like 5 steps. Like it's great.
She's so evil. Guys, do you know what she does in like the dark side? She is the person who takes all of the babies that they get and she brainwashes them and controls them and makes them into evil little soldiers.
Neat.
She's so evil. Arguably, she's more evil than Darkseid. Well, maybe not, but like, because genocide. But like, indoctrination ain't good.
No, it's not.
No, but like genocide, I think is worse.
Mm.
No, I agree. I misspoke. But she's 1A. What other plots are there? Commissioner Gordon gets to be in 2 scenes.
Yeah,
so that's pretty neat. Alfred's a treasure.
I was gonna say Alfred gets to teach Diana how to make a proper cup of tea.
Yeah.
Matt, you say you're sad about Jim Gordon. I'm not. I would much rather J.K. Simmons be what's his name?
J. Jonah
Jameson, and let the guy who's going to be
Jim
Gordon
in the Batman.
I like him better. Nothing against J.K. Simmons. I'm excited to see a new take on Gordon.
Who is the new Gordon? I missed it.
His name, I forget his name, but he was Beatty in the Hunger Games, and he was.
I'll just go to
Ford
and get there. It's fine.
Yeah, he was Ford in Westworld as well. He's really good.
Wasn't he in Casino Royale?
Westworld's really good.
Wasn't he in James Bond?
I forget. I haven't seen Casino Royale in like 12 years.
So good.
The Batman.
It's very good, but I just haven't seen it.
So good.
I know Daniel Craig's in it.
Yeah, and Eva Green.
Oh, right. She's pretty.
Jeffrey Wright. He's really good. So I'm excited to see his take on Gordon.
That's right.
Matt.
Yeah.
Man, I hate you.
Now, who is Beatty in the Hunger Games?
He's the guy who he knows it's a clock in the second movie.
Okay.
Okay, who else's plot are we forgetting in this movie? The Russian family's gone. Nice.
Thank the maker.
Martha Kent.
Absolutely. Martha Kent is not technically in the movie
Yeah,
until
she
the
is.
last
Yes,
scene.
she is.
No,
Yes, she is.
She's in the very
not to the
beginning,
last
packing up
scene.
and leaving the farm.
Okay, yes. She doesn't have a speaking role in this movie,
Correct.
which is kind of funny.
I thought they have a group hug at the farm.
I think
I don't
that
think she
scene is
says
just.
anything, though.
I think that
No.
scene's just Bruce and Clark talking.
No. When it's Clark is getting his memories back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she doesn't say anything.
I don't think she says a word, though.
No. Just gives him a hug.
Diane Lane has plenty of lines as Martian Manhunter.
It's probably closer to like 5, but yes, she does have lines.
Right. But like, hey, Diane Lane walks on set for no less than $1 million. She's earned that money. I think that's all the basic plots of the movie. Again,
No,
not
you're
like Matt
forgetting-
said, not a big
you're
plot.
forgetting
It's
one
very
character.
paper thin, and that's okay.
In one character.
Who?
The ship. The ship wants to fly, but needs a
ship
software
wants to
update.
fly.
So
That's
there's
right.
that plot.
Yep.
It has motivations, therefore plot.
Little
And
engine that
Affleck's
could.
skin doesn't look nearly as yellow in this movie because he's not battling alcoholism this entire time when he's filming.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Also,
for Ben
there's
Affleck.
there's no weird coloration in the final fight.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I think we're done with the plot. Let's jump into chapter 2, the changes.
Chapter 2 Changes.
Changes.
Some changes about this movie. It got significantly better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like about
it's-
100%
There's no
better?
question. There's
It
no
was
question.
nice
Julie
and cohesive. Like everything fit under the same. What is
Theme.
it? There
Yes.
it is.
Oh,
That is my
Tone.
biggest takeaway as well, is that this movie has one unified tone and is not a mess.
yeah.
It makes a world of difference. Because we said the plot, pretty bare bones. Like
Mhm.
pretty paper thin. But like it just the fact that it all works and there's a lot of good stuff going on. What
At
a
no
time.
point did the original's movie feel cohesive and clean. This one has so much more seriousness without, and it's Zack Snyder, like that's who he is. Like it was his tone. But at no point does it take itself too seriously. Like it's a serious movie and like the character's all you want to believe. But like when Flash makes a joke, it's not like eye rolly. Like it's like, oh, he's breaking up tension or he's being slight comedic relief, but it wasn't like jarring.
That's
Like in the
because it
original
was
one-
very true to the character they created.
Yeah.
They weren't trying
Like
to
in
force
the
anything.
theatrical version, when Jason Momoa was doing all like the screaming and when he jumps off the car and does that, and then he does the sitting on the rope thing, I was like, is this really the tone we're going for right now? All right. That's all cut out. And it's much more serious. I really liked it.
Can I talk about the changes to how Steppenwolf looks? Because my God.
As the best looking one on this podcast, I will allow you to talk about it.
Thank you. Like in 2017,
I'm kidding. We're all hot.
He looked kind of goofy, right? He looked
Stupid.
Yeah, he didn't look menacing. He didn't look like an
Like an
agent.
action figure.
Yeah.
You know how like you see those action figure sets and it's like not Justice League, but it's like Sense of Right Brigade or something. like clearly third party is like a car in there. Like that's what Steppenwolf looked like to me.
Yeah.
In the theatrical cut. Just
right?
like
He looked
just throw something on there. Like
He
who
looked
cares?
kind of goofy. He didn't look menacing.
Mhm.
This Steppenwolf looked like he was ready to bust some stuff up to get those mother boxes.
Mhm.
His armor was really cool. His armor reminded me a lot of the Destroyer from the first Thor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He had
constantly
Looked alive.
moving, constantly shaping.
yeah, his face had emotion and anger. And, like we said, he actually has motives. And just he was big, he was scary, he was willing to stop at nothing to get back on the good side of Darkseid.
Right. Like I wanted him to fail, but also like make good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it would never happen, but I wanted it to happen where like Darkseid be like, oh, well, you tried. Okay, you can come back and join us. Like that's in no way was going to happen, but that was the outcome that the audience member
have that be the ending, just a wholesome ending where Darkseid shows up through the boom tube like, hey, come on home, buddy. You did your best.
Come on home. You tried. We'll next time we'll see you at the softball game, Justice League. Like
I thought it also made Darkseid scarier.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It made Darkseid a lot scarier to be like, oh, this guy who is the Earthrender, the destroyer of those who we know, is scared of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Is not only scared, is like in trouble with.
Yeah. Yeah, like
it made Darkseid really cool.
With Desaad, when he's talking back and forth with Desaad, and Desaad's like, I'm gonna have to run this up to Darkseid, and Steppenwolf's
we're gonna
like,
run this up the ladder. We'll come back next week. Maybe we'll circle back. We'll have lunch about it. We can talk about synergy.
and Steppenwolf's like, no, don't tell the big boss man.
Really try to shift the paradigm.
Shift the paradigm.
Yeah, shift the paradigm.
Yeah, and Desaad by himself is incredibly scary.
Oh yeah,
to have somebody again, another guy above him is really scary.
What was really
John.
cool too, and just a subtle, I guess, diction was using worlds as like not currency, but like measurable achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Of like Darkseid has scoured 100,000 worlds, and then Steppenwolf owes Darkseid 50,000 worlds for his betrayal, and you're like, worlds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And they talk about the multiverse, like the Darkseid is aware of, and like, yeah, it's scary, man. He's just scared. He is, and this is no slight to Thanos because Thanos was great in the MCU. He's scarier to me than Thanos because Thanos wants what's best for everybody in his mind. He's wrong, or like he's misguided. Darkseid just wants what Darkseid wants. He just wants to control everybody.
Yeah.
Thanos had like this glimmer of like, I want to help, but like, I'm not a good guy. No, none of that with Darkseid. He's just a bad creature.
But also Darkseid is
so scary.
Crazily more powerful as well than Thanos. Like, of course, barring the Infinity Gauntlet, which changes genuinely everything.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'm sure you know what they're called, but the angular laser eyes.
Omega beams.
Those are called
Omega beams.
And they're so sick.
They're awesome.
They got to see them underwater.
We got to see them. That was so cool.
If you told me when I was in college or starting to read comic books and like getting into this, that I was going to see Omega beams on my screen at one point in a movie, I would have called you a moron. Then I would have punched you in the neck. I was angry in college for whatever reason, but I wouldn't have believed you. And we saw it.
Those were so cool. Oh, I loved it. I think that's more just me being greedy. I wanted that scene from Justice League Origins where he shoots him at Flash and Superman, and Flash just books it. I thought that would have been awesome, but it doesn't really fit with this movie.
We can't confirm that those will never happen, because if they do end up doing a Darkseid Invasion movie, it could happen.
I would love that. Oh my God, I'd love that so much.
Other changes to this movie that were not in the original, we have some scenes are extended, but a lot of dialogue has changed. Bruce and Diana don't have their little relationship develop where Bruce is kind of snippy to her. She's kind of snippy to him. None of that. We have none of the...
But what we do have instead is they both kind of touch the mouse at the same time.
Yeah, they touch hands.
It's a little cute moment.
Get it, Batman?
No, don't get it.
Yeah.
No, Diana can do better.
Yeah, but then that could set up this being the world from Dark Knight's Metal, where Batman takes Ares' helmet, becomes a big
one
bad.
Step at a time, Matthew.
No. This is DCU. We run at full speed and we never actually look where we're going.
Left 1,000 things on the table. We need to keep adding to the table. It's going to buckle eventually.
Other changes to this movie are Cyborg has a plot.
Yeah, he does, and it's really good.
He went from being like an addition to the movie. We've learned this twice now with Zack Snyder movies. Just let all the characters have their plot. It makes the movie significantly better. Same thing with Lois Lane. Lois Lane had her plot added to in this one, and it was a lot better.
Yeah.
Let's just give everyone their plot. Stop. Just let the man make his movie. I don't care if it's 20 hours long. Just let him do it. Just shut up, Warner Brothers. You suck. Anyway, Cyborg's plot is great. You get to see him go from being a college football star who has dad issues to losing the one person who really cares about him, his mom, having to deal with that, being turned into a literal monster by the one man that he didn't actually like that much, his father, and having to deal with that, having to deal with these new powers and not wanting to get any actual discussion with his dad, and he loses his dad. But at this whole time, he's trying to find his humanity. And that's the best part about Cyborg in this movie, is that he's trying to find his humanity. He's really if you had to pick one of them as a protagonist, I'd say he's the protagonist of this movie.
Yeah.
They're all the protagonists, but like he feels like the main character.
Or Batman, because he's the catalyst in getting them all together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I could see either or.
But Batman doesn't grow in this movie. It's okay. You don't have to grow. Cyborg has a whole like hero's journey.
Yeah.
Like, almost, I think literally he has a hero. I think he follows the hero's journey perfectly.
Well, I mean, Zack Snyder said coming up to this movie to Ray Fisher, like, you are the center, you are the heart of this movie. Cyborg is the heart of this movie, and it was.
And it felt like it, man. It felt great.
Like for me going in, like I knew about, obviously I knew about Batman, knew about Wonder Woman, knew about Aquaman, knew about Flash. Like the only one that really I haven't had a whole lot of experience with was Cyborg. But I liked it. I really liked it. He has such a gut-wrenching story. And Ray Fisher
literally
was just was just fantastic as it.
It bums me out that we'll never see it again.
Yeah.
Unless we won't.
They've, as you said, I don't know if you said it on mic, but they've quintupled down on "We're done with you, Ray," which stinks.
Yeah. No, they quintupled down on. These allegations aren't real. Like this isn't what happened.
Which is, I mean, even if they want to work with him again, he won't work with them.
No, I think the only way he works with them is if they have a massive change in management and he's working with Zack Snyder. I feel like,
and he gets some degree of creative input.
Yeah,
but I really don't see it happening.
No, it's not going to happen. The other addition to this movie is the plot line of Superman coming back and having actual, like, what's what I'm looking for?
Amnesia.
He's not a creepy robot person in this one.
Yeah, his mouth is like a normal human mouth. It's weird.
Not even that. Like, just the things he says and does. Like, it didn't make sense. That the do you bleed doesn't make any sense in the case of Justice League. Like, yes, he fought the Justice League off in this one because he was unsure, but he starts it because he scans Cyborg and doesn't like Cyborg because he's a robot. Like, that's confusing. That makes sense. Then when they all attack him, he reacts. And in the original, it was, he can smell our fear. That makes why would Superman care about your fear? Even if he's reverting back to his original the Kryptonians weren't monsters. They were just a different race.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It makes no sense. This one made more sense.
But also with Cyborg, didn't they test like the Superman ship stuff with the mother box stuff? So it's possible that he could recognize something in Cyborg as like not terrestrial.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It makes more sense that he's reacting to Cyborg, not the Flash's fear. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it makes more sense that he's reacting to Cyborg.
And then Cyborg's auto defense mechanism kicks in, which kicks off the fight. That whole thing made a lot of sense.
A lot more sense. And I really like how they set up in this one that Batman doesn't get like ragdolled. He uses those gauntlets that he's been working on, and that like he was working on gauntlets that could like reflect energy, and that's what saves his life. Thought that was really cool. Lois then stops Superman again. That was great. But then when he's on the farm, he gets like a lot more time on the farm to kind of get himself back. And it just seemed more believable rather than he does it for a minute. He's like, being dead was itchy. Haha. Okay, I'm going to go now. I like truth and justice. That just felt so clunky and stupid. And seeing what happened in this movie, it made a lot more sense that he slowly over at least 2 days gets himself back mentally, sees his mom, which makes him kind of ground himself. Then he just shows up and is like, I'm going to destroy your entire bloodline. It was awesome. When he shows up, so he goes and gets the black suit. And during that part, his dads are talking to him, which, oh my God, that was amazing to have. Oh my God, Kevin Costner and Russell Crowe doing like bringing back their lines from the old movies, talking about like, you're going to be great, do good things, they'll join you in the sun, that kind of thing. I loved that. And then he picks the black suit. And for comic reasons, the black suit makes perfect sense because it's a regeneration suit. It lets you absorb more sunlight. It's black, like it's good for you. It's supposed to help you heal. In this one, it just seems like, I don't know why he picks it. They don't give a reason, but I don't care. I was just excited to see it.
And
what's your headcanon?
Headcanon, it's not in the movie, but like the more I think about it, the more I really hope it's the case. So the whole thing is like, we're when the team comes together, they're like, yeah, we're nothing without him. We have to get him back. Batman I made him a promise on his grave. I would get us together and we would do this. Like, he died sacrificing for us. So he takes a lot of influence from him, which you see in this movie, because he's doing more things based on faith. In BVS, he was very suspicious of everything, hence the armored Batman.
And hope. Which S means hope.
But thank you. But like, he jumps out of the plane saying, like, Alfred's like, what makes you think that? He's like, faith, Alfred. Jumps out of the plane. So I think the black suit in this movie, my headcanon, is that it's within the context is him also kind of,
hey, Batman, look
yeah,
at me,
like hey, like solidarity, like thank you, appreciation, like a nod to Batman, I think is what it is in this movie.
That's cool. I'm okay with that. That's a cool little headcanon.
But that's all me. There's no like actual supporting evidence.
I'm going to stick with he's like goth and emo in my headcanon.
I mean, I'm also down with that, but like
he listened to Black Parade the entire way there.
Even though he could fly there in like 5 seconds. Yeah.
He took the time for a dramatic entrance, Matthew.
Yeah, I get it.
Either way, he shows up and he makes it's way more believable for him to come in the way he does in this movie, where he just punches the ever-loving life out of Steppenwolf, as opposed to the original cut where he comes in and goes, I'm a big fan of truth and I also like justice. I'm going to go run around and save people in this town, even though that makes zero sense. Stupid.
Right. This part where he froze and shattered his
You're not so fast, Flash. Hey, this movie sucks. This movie sucks. It's so bad. Now having this and knowing what the Justice League theatrical cut is terrible.
Yeah. It was never good to begin with. It was
no, but like I was like, hey, this is all I've got. Like, I can't say it's bad because then they might never make another one.
Yeah. The one thing that they didn't change that I was really happy for was Aquaman doing the best line in the movie with the "my man." I love that scene.
That was great.
It's so stupid, but I love it. And I was so happy that they kept it in.
At least he didn't. I'm glad he didn't do like the kind of almost, it felt like not racist, but it felt kind of tropey, like the South Islander scream that they had him do multiple times in the theatrical cut. That one felt racist. I don't know if it's racist because I don't want to speak to that because I don't want to speak for Jason Momoa. It felt kind of like, you're Hawaiian, do the thing.
If you have to question it, like, there's your answer. It's kind of the rule of thumb that I try to employ.
True, but also as a white guy, I can't speak for people of color. I'm just telling you from my perspective, it seemed a little uncalled for. Either way, I'm glad they took it out. It kind of took away from the seriousness of the fight.
And that also was not in the Aquaman movie. So like,
yeah. I'm also glad that they expanded on Aquaman's relationship with the people of the of that one town that he kept bringing food to. We talked about it amongst ourselves, the singing thing that Aquaman does.
That's like the one thing I didn't like.
I looked that up. I actually have what that is.
Apparently, I saw it. One of my friends commented about it, and it's like, it's a lamentation. It's like, they said it was like a sad version of Brandy. Let's say Brandy.
Kind of, but in Brandy doesn't, I think kind of, yes, it's an Icelandic folk song about a woman losing her ideal man or her dream man.
I knew it.
Whether or not he's real. So there's that. John doesn't like it, doesn't work. I don't disagree.
I still don't like it.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It was off-putting.
A little bit of explanation would have gone a long way there.
And like in a movie that does try and like make everything plausible, like did the whole town rehearse this and just have that locked in the chamber for every time? Like,
well, it's not
did they
crazy to think
routinely-
that nitpick there. I 100% disagree with. That's implying that people don't understand folk songs, don't know all the words to folk songs. You could go out into the world right now, and if you had a willing group and sing certain songs, everyone would know the words. That part I disagree with. Standing there and just singing into camera is weird.
Everyone would know the words. Would everyone know like exactly how to do it 100% flawlessly?
Mm-hmm.
That's you know what I mean? Like it was too well rehearsed to be believable.
Maybe, but hey, you know what? There's a superhero who can fly around and gets impervious to bullets. I feel like that's a little bit of too much of a nitpick. I agreed with you up to that point, but like you can't. People know lyrics,
but it's their similitude. Like that is the world you have created.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't know lyrics.
People know lyrics. People more than likely don't coordinate and practice that just to have it locked and loaded for a perfect off the cuff performance whenever. If it was like a recital and they'd been rehearsing this for forever, that makes perfect sense.
I feel like it would be better if they did it like in Lord of the Rings, right? When they buried Theodred and Eowyn starts singing, where it's just one of them. I feel like,
and it's very apparent that it's like just her singing.
Yes, that would be much better.
Yeah, but like it didn't. I completely understand why that scene was in there. But yeah, like John said, it felt very rehearsed. It wasn't something where like people started slowly joining in. It felt, I don't know.
I don't disagree. I didn't like the blocking of the film part of it. I had no problem with the actual singing, especially knowing the context of the song. But I didn't like the way it was blocked out and like filmed. I thought it was like, this just doesn't. It's filmed poorly. It shouldn't. The center, whatever. That doesn't matter. The other things that were changed about this movie. We have Mira has an accent, and I think that's just an asynchronous. What is that word?
You brought it up when
anachronistic.
Anachronistic.
Where it was filmed ahead of the original. Obviously, it was filmed ahead of Justice League redone, and it was filmed before Aquaman, where they were going to give her that accent, and then they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the correct term, but I understand it's like Captain Marvel with the Where's Fury. The thing, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Anachronistic is like anachronistic would be like you're in the Middle Ages and there's a fire truck. Like that's anachronism.
Yeah, I said a word in our chat that was good.
Yeah, you did say a word in our chat that was good.
I said a good word in our chat.
Yeah, it was one of them rich people words.
Yeah, I think that was the case. The other thing too is Mira does have a plot. A continuity error because she says that her Arthur's like brother and family took her in because her family was dead, but like her father is definitely in the Aquaman movie.
Yeah
So that was kind of whatever. I'm guessing that they showed the theatrical cut of Justice League to James Wan and they're like, or a screenwriter, and they're like, this is what happened, don't contradict this.
I said anachronism. I thought I said a different word. I said anachronism.
Oh, good.
Still one of them rich people words.
It does have a lot of letters.
Mm-hmm. Too many times you have to clap your hands. Anachronism. Anyway, yeah. So like that's weird. But that's also they would have changed that.
Mm-hmm.
That scene was very clearly filmed very long ago, especially with Willem Dafoe's hairstyle
and the accent for Mira.
Yeah, and the accent.
Barry can use time travel in this movie. That's a cool little change, which is setting up the potential Justice League or Flashpoint paradox, which is cool.
And I like that we've seen it twice in this movie, which is also nice.
Yeah.
We have Iris West in this movie.
We do.
Iris West in this movie for a half a second, even though she's never technically named.
Or doesn't, and also she doesn't wear a seatbelt, which like, wear your seatbelts.
Wear your seatbelt. The Legion of Doom thing is totally dropped and it's changed to just set up the Batman movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was just supposed to set up the Batman movie directed by Ben Affleck, which was, hey, Deathstroke, here's Bruce Wayne as Batman, go fight him. We have the nightmare scene is extended. We get to see a version of the nightmare scene.
What I also liked about that scene
Superman
too,
trying to kill the Justice League. That was kind of cool.
With the Deathstroke scene is that then Luthor says "good boy" to Deathstroke. It's just nice characterization. It's creepy as all get out, but like it's nice characterization.
Well, they also talk briefly there about how, hey, Lex, you seem more like Lex now, without saying that. And he's essentially like, yes, no, I've come to terms with who I am.
And I have too much to live for.
It kind of makes it seem like the new gods were maybe in his head. Mm-hmm. Like Darkseid was in his head earlier.
I think absolutely. I think that's the whole the bell, and it can't be unrung. It's been rung. Like that whole ridiculous.
And the bell being rung is Superman's death knell. That's pretty cool.
And which we now saw in the opening credits of the movie, which is the cry heard around the world.
Another thing that's changed. We don't have that stupid. We also don't have that stupid. It's for our podcast opening thing. Who does that?
Or Batman using someone to lure the parademons, which inexplicably are drawn to fear.
Yeah.
That also isn't in the movie. It's great. It's great.
Also, that awkward scene where Superman says, well, I know you didn't bring me back because you like me. And Batman goes, oh, it's not because I don't like you. It's like, dude, just kiss. Knock it off.
Yeah. Just stop playing with us. Then wouldn't it be weird if you guys just kiss?
Man, since you said it, like I can't stop thinking about the "Do you bleed" line and how much it really doesn't make sense.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, even Zack Snyder came out and said,
because if he asks, "Do you bleed?" then that means he does remember what happened. If he remembers the events of BVS, then why is he fighting them?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so dumb. Oh my god.
What would have been really dumb is if he went, Martha.
Martha. I can't wait for them to recycle that for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah. Any other big? I mean, there's a million changes, but like some of them are so small, it's hard to bring them up here.
It's not.
We have a nightmare scene.
Silas Stone.
That's also huge.
Yeah, the nightmare scene, which I briefly mentioned, it gets extended, and it's much better. Jared Leto's Joker is in there, and he doesn't say the society line, and it's actually really good characterization.
And also, to quote the Killers, he doesn't look a thing like Jesus.
He doesn't.
He doesn't look a thing. Thank whatever God you got.
Then my question is, why did they do that photo shoot in the first place?
You know how when you're taking pictures and someone goes, "Let's do a silly one"? I think it was the silly one.
There's also one of him and Batman in the prom pose that they just never aired. Let's do a silly one.
I watched Stephen Colbert interview what's his name? Jared Leto. And he asked him about it, and he asked him about the movie. And Jared Leto
what the hell?
was wearing a "We Live in a Society" t-shirt.
No, you know what? Lean into it. That's hilarious.
Let me finish. That's available on 30secondstomorrow.com.
Oh God.
Oh, okay, now I hate it.
Let me finish. Proceeds go to a bunch of different charities for mental health in America.
Okay, I'm back to liking
that. Does help, but
I'm back to liking it.
But when he brought up the "We Live in a Society" line, and when we talked about it in our chat, like, hey, it doesn't show up in the movie, and I was like, Snyder's memeing on us, and apparently Jared Leto said, "Oh yeah, I ad-libbed that," and I'm like, "Oh, did you? Did you, mate?"
Yeah, no. So maybe that him and the Jesus thing was meant to make it. Maybe, hey, big brain time. Maybe they did all of this to throw us off. That it was going to be bad, and it was actually really good.
I think they, like I said, did it to get us to talk about it. Because think about it, right? You see the trailer, and you're like, okay, this looks good, and then you see that, and like, I can't believe that they're going to do that. And then everybody started talking about it.
No news is bad news.
And then you saw,
press is bad press.
Joker with the crown of thorns, and you're just like, oh my God,
I'm sorry. Hold
awful.
On. Do you mean Joker Christ Superstar?
You're right, Joker Christ Superstar. I'm sorry. Civil War 2. I'm sorry.
Oh God, we could have gotten through this one.
Nah, we have two things now we have to bring up.
That's not even good. You just threw it out there.
What is a running joke if not Civil War 2 persevering?
Thank you, John.
Anyway, I think that's all the major changes, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was one thing that I'm a little embarrassed to admit, but I'll admit it.
Go ahead. I'm very excited to hear this.
So, two things. When I was watching the opening crawl and I saw Willem Dafoe, and I was like, Willem Dafoe's in this? Who's he going to be? And then
You forgot that he was whatever.
You forgot about Volko.
I forgot that.
Volko, that's right.
And then during the first scene with Wonder Woman, the first scene with Wonder Woman, right, where she jumps up to throw the bomb, I'm like, wait, Wonder Woman doesn't learn how to fly until the second movie. And I was like,
She killed a guy.
That took place in
that was
1984. That's in the past. Big brain, Matt.
Oh, Matt, you sweet summer child. I love it.
There are a couple lines that, like, because of 84 don't make a lot of sense, but like it's fine. That movie was not even a twinkle in DCEU's eye when this was being filmed, probably 2015, 16? Who's to say?
16.
When Wonder Woman said, I lost someone that I loved once, and I was like, twice.
Yeah, that would be me too. I'm like, twice, 2 times. That went through my head.
But like, she never told anybody about that, and why would she tell Bruce?
Because they're trying to be friends.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
I wouldn't trust Bruce.
And then when little girl at the bank was like, "Can I be like you?" I just imagined like war trauma flashbacks of Cheetah from 84.
No, you can't. She just punches that little girl in the mouth.
And then she's like, how do I tell her
Is
no?
that your wish?
You can
Are
be
you
anything
wishing?
you want to be.
Can I be like
Put
you?
her down
No,
easy.
I'm half God and you're a normal little mortal.
You're a normie.
Like, yeah, just
good scrub and
trauma
she
of Cheetah going through her head.
Are there any changes you're bummed about? Because I have one that I'm like, oh man, but like,
Are you talking about
in
like
the long run, I'm
things
very
in
happy.
theatrical cut that you wish were in this cut?
Yes,
I don't have any.
I don't think
Sure.
so. I don't think there
that's
was
the correct answer,
any
John.
big
I also haven't seen the movie in
changes.
3.5 years and don't remember anything sticking. Like that movie to me, looking back, I'm like, man, there was a sweet Superman fight. End of list.
But
Like,
there really
that's-
wasn't.
End of list. No, the fight against Superman, that was sweet.
Yeah, but it's so much better.
It's better, but like that's my takeaways. And like that's
Matt,
in
is
this
there
movie,
anything
so I'm
you
good.
wish had been left?
I don't think so. Like I only saw the theatrical version of Justice League once, and that's when it came out. After that, I didn't watch it. Not necessarily due to not watching it, not wanting to. Just like I just never thought to watch it again.
Like
Looking back, you now realize that you didn't.
Yeah.
want to.
Now I would say
The one scene that I wish was still in the movie was the race at the end.
that's what I was
Same.
gonna bring
Because
up.
It was cute.
Same.
It was really cute.
It was
And,
cute.
Like, it's
It-
fun.
It would not fit in this movie at all.
it wouldn't.
No. But what you could have done differently is you have the Flash go, so maybe we could race. He was faster. Superman goes, oh, no. Like that. 'Cause Flash could still be that goofy guy. That makes sense. And Superman just like,
Superman
No.
just, oh honey.
right, that's funny.
Even though
And it would make sense for the movie.
even though us comic
Yeah.
book nerds know that Flash would destroy him.
Without even a question. He's beaten him multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yep.
I think that's all of the changes that we need to talk about. Obviously, there's things we left out. We can't talk about. We would be talking about like all of the seconds of this movie.
Yeah.
The whole movie's changed.
The-
Or longer.
This
than
would
the movie.
be this would be a
Mhm.
4-hour podcast, and I don't want to edit that.
Plus, nope. All right. Well, let's jump right into chapter 3.
Chapter 3 Easter eggs.
Let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking.
Easter eggs. There was a plenty, gentlemen. Holy cow! To just get through a few of them, let's talk about this. The first one that I have here on my list was the cop Jerry, who Lois brings coffee to at the Superman Memorial on the daily. He played the original Jimmy Olsen in the Dick Donner Superman movies.
Oh.
He also was in the theatrical cut as the guard who signs Barry in to go see his dad
Wow.
Okay.
because they wanted to keep him in the movie. We have I forget his name, the guy who played Lupin. His likeness is put on a younger Ares
Yeah.
during the
Yeah.
God fight. That was kind of
That
cool.
was cool.
Yeah.
We get to see Zeus. We get to see Artemis. We get to see our first old school Green Lantern.
Yes, we do.
Yalin Gur. Here's a fun little tidbit about Yalin Gur. He was an incredibly powerful lantern who patrolled Earth or the Earth sector area a long time ago. Here's a fun thing. When they removed the yellow weakness to the lanterns, Yalin Gur went and enslaved all of China.
Yikes!
Yeah, the Silver Age was racist.
What are you talking about?
Hey, yeah, but hey, here's the other side of that story. When they needed a new weakness for the lanterns, the new weakness was wood. And he found this out because all of the people in China beat Yal and Gur to death with wooden sticks.
Amazing.
Is it? Is it?
What's the next one?
Yeah. We have Iris is in the movie. That was a cool little Easter egg. We have also during that part, there's a really great, subtle, like blink if you miss it kind of thing where when Barry starts to run, his shoes explode. Because of course they would.
Yep.
I loved that. I loved all the stuff with Barry and his running, the lightning and all of this was really cool. We have a mechanized Starro. Starro is the creature that the very first Justice League of America fights. And it is not celestial, but there's a space starfish that controls people's minds by suction cupping to their face. So that is on the Atlanteans when Steppenwolf's like, tell me where the mother box is. They're like, well, I'll never tell you where the mother box is. He goes, hey, you don't have to. I'm going to kill you with this starfish. He puts it on their face. We have in Cyborg's apartment, there's a Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka poster because, John, you're a literature guy. What's Metamorphosis about?
So I didn't read it, but I'm imagining that I can paraphrase one Buster Bluth from Arrested Development by just going, I'm a monster!
Yes. A man wakes up as a cockroach and has to continue living his life. He transforms into a monster. Cyborg is transformed into a monster in his mind. It's a great little thing. Barry Allen mentions that he's fluent in sign language. Gorilla sign language? Gorilla Grodd reference confirmed. Gorilla Grodd is in the DCEU. The cop speaking to Detective Gordon or Commissioner Gordon is Crispus Allen. Crispus Allen was made famous. He is a detective in the GCPD during the Gotham Central books, and he also later becomes the Spectre after he is murdered while solving a case. So that's cool. We get the multiverse reference by Steppenwolf. We get all of the Apocalypse references, Desaad, Granny Goodness, Darkseid, the anti-life equation,
while we're here,
all of the hells of Apocalypse.
While we're here, could you go into the anti-life equation a little bit?
Oh, can I?
Good thing
if you listen to Final Crisis, go ahead.
Good thing you have that dry erase board behind you.
Yeah, right. So the anti-life equation, as referenced previously on Talking Trades in Final Crisis, which don't go back and listen to it.
Yeah, listen to it. It's our 100th episode.
No, you know what? Listen to it. Don't ever read it.
Yeah.
That's the one.
The anti-life equation is what Darkseid uses, and it is a literal equation that he gives to people. He writes it down and they see it. And in viewing it, it takes away all their free will. They still have all their body functions. They still have all their mechanics. They can still do whatever they can. But he controls their free will. They do whatever he wants because they don't know different. They're not brainwashed. They lose their free will. They are no longer alive.
It's like he's playing The Sims.
It's like he's playing The Sims, and he just takes out all of the ladders on the pools. The anti-life equation in the DCEU is actually on Earth. And I don't mean like it's somewhere like in a house on Earth. It is part of Earth's landscape.
Etched into the ground.
Yeah, Darkseid came there, found it in the ground, was repelled by the forces of Earth, and then lost the planet. He never tracked down the planet again, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, that felt a little loose to me.
Yeah. I would have liked it better if it was, hey, Darkseid, I found the planet of the anti-life equation. Darkseid's like, I know where the anti-life equation is. I just can't get to it because of all of the gods and Superman. Well, Superman's dead. And then Darkseid's like, ooh, okay. Open up the singularity and I'm coming.
Or even like some piece of machinery got broken on the way while retreating. We can't possibly go back unless it's fixed. And then maybe Steppenwolf accidentally finds a way to Earth.
Yeah, whatever, right?
So that's
where the 1 point comes off in the 8.5 or 9.0 rating it's getting. So we have that with the anti-life equation. We have all that good stuff. We have the mother box. We have Martian Manhunter. We have the third mother box actually is called box. It's given a number, like a random, seemingly random number by the U.S. government, and that is 61982. That is a reference to June 1982, which is the first appearance of Cyborg in the comics.
Neat.
So that's pretty neat. We have Kilowog appears when Darkseid destroys the entire Justice League. That's really cool.
He died.
He dies, which is unfortunate. We all like Kilowog on this show. We have when Superman is getting his suits, we see all these extra suits. We see a version of Zod's like military suit. We see the regular blue and red suit. We see a interstellar space suit that Kryptonians can wear. We also get the Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner thing, voiceover, which I've already talked about. Superman is Jesus? ? Yes, no, that's very obvious. When he's like standing up and he like flies up to the sun and literally puts his arms out like a cross.
Yeah.
I literally screamed out loud, "Oh, it's like he's Jesus!" in my apartment.
Oh, I
Just in case the false god graffiti from Batman vs. Superman was not enough for you.
Just in case, right? Or the first time he does that exact same scene in Man of Steel.
Speaking of Man of Steel,
Did
you notice how they just reused footage from Man of Steel?
When?
During the when Cyborg is like getting the vision from the mother box, when he's holding Lois, or the dead person in his hands, who's probably Lois,
it's
and
Lois.
Darkseid puts his like hand on him.
Mm-hmm.
How he looks like 10 years younger.
No,
and it's just like,
is that reused footage?
Yeah, it's from Man of Steel.
I didn't know that.
It looks just too different.
Gotcha. We have speaking of Lois, we have a pregnancy test. And later at the end of the movie, she is carrying a basket. This is confirming that she is pregnant with a son. And if this had gone into a cinematic universe of Snyder movies or continuing, that would have been
We'll get there.
Superboy. We have during the fight with Superman at the Superman Memorial, Flash crashes into a wall and you see some of the names up there of the people who died during the Zod fight. And one of the names is Ben Parker.
Ben Parker.
That's kind of fun. We have Ryan Choi, the Atom. He gets promoted to the head of nanotech at the end of the movie, confirming that there's plans for him to become the Atom. Very cool. We have the Joker taunting Batman during the nightmare scene where he talks about killing Robin. And here's a fun thing. Do you guys know who it has been confirmed by Zack Snyder, which Robin it is?
I feel like Jason Todd would make too much sense.
Jason Todd would make a lot of sense, yes.
But I don't want it to be.
It's Dick Grayson.
Oh.
Jared Leto killed Dick Grayson.
This is the worst universe. 0
That's
out of 10.
the worst timeline.
0 out of 10.
We have... There's one that I'm going to save for the very end because it's really sad and it might make me cry, and it's definitely going to make John cry because John has like feelings. We have the Bat Tank and the mutants from The Dark Knight Returns, which... Let's go! That was awesome. When he's just standing there, oh my God. It was so cool.
Slice and dice, baby.
Slice and dice. Oh, Batman, baby. What a book. We got to redo that one now where they have like good mics and like we're not terrible at this job. The last real big, there's 2 Easter eggs that are incredibly heart-wrenching. We have when Batman picks up the Flash and drive off, you see it's the American Suicide Prevention Organization. I forget their exact acronym, but the "You Are Not Alone" sign is like focused on for a couple of seconds. And then at the end of the movie, For Autumn comes up on screen. And apparently her favorite song was Hallelujah. And he has Hallelujah play when her name comes up for the end credits. So Autumn was Zack Snyder's daughter, who unfortunately took her own life before 2016, 2017, when they were filming this movie. That's the reason that he left the movie. And he said that she was his hope and his inspiration her entire life. And that even though she's no longer with him, she doesn't stop inspiring him every day. So he wanted to pay her tribute at the end of the movie by putting her name up there and playing her favorite song. And I didn't know that when I saw that, but now that I do know that, it's so heart-wrenching to hear that. But I can tell you that, in my personal opinion, I feel like your daughter would be very proud of you, Mr. Snyder. You did a great job.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That he did that.
Is there any Easter eggs that you guys noticed that I missed?
I
don't think there
felt
is.
with Superman originally, I felt like he was holding the dead body of Batman and recreating that one iconic Superman holding Batman going, ah, but that wouldn't make sense.
From Final Crisis?
Yeah, because that wouldn't make sense because
No.
yeah, it had to have been Lois in order for the nightmare to happen.
She's the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a reference to the Injustice universe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which I think is cool. That's where they wanted to go.
Oh, God, yeah. Just make that movie.
I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but I really do like the characterization of Barry Allen and how like he really comes across to me like his mind goes faster than he can talk or possibly communicate. And I really like that was a through line all the way like throughout. Like her handing him the resume, he just kept rambling and rambling on. Like granted, these nervous people do it, but it's every chance he has. He just seems like he's thinking and talking way quicker than he could possibly articulate, which is really cool.
Yeah,
really
good
cool
point,
choice.
John. With Barry Allen, also they very openly mention that he's Jewish,
Mhm.
and I think it's incredibly important to have representation in movies, and that includes Judaism. There are Jewish superheroes that never get talked about. Spider-Man is the biggest one. He's Jewish. Peter Parker is Jewish, and it never gets talked about. And it's such a small thing, but like, I'm glad that they talked about that, made Barry Allen Jewish in this.
Yeah.
Because they made him Jewish in the show, and I was like, yeah, cool. That's good. Representation is positive. Do more of that. It costs you nothing to have Barry Allen be Jewish like he was, and he can have a Hanukkah scene, but that's good. People see that on screen. That's very positive.
Yeah.
I think that'll do it for Easter eggs. Are we ready to talk about the future?
Yes. Future.
All right. Future.
Chapter 4, The Future. Future State. Oh, I just got it.
Like the comics.
Yeah, the best joke's the ones you have to explain.
So, gentlemen, where do we go from here? Now, the correct answer is nowhere because we're not doing any more movies with this stuff. But
Unless, why don't we
Unless-
first discuss what the plan was and was going to be for DC?
Yeah.
So the plan was going to be originally, they were going to do 2 more movies after this. The next movie was going to be set in the Nightmareverse. No, the next movie is going to be the invasion of Darkseid. Darkseid was going to come to Earth, just absolutely wreak havoc because that's what he does. And that was going to set up the Nightmare movie, which was going to have a different timeline. This timeline would have had kind of what we saw at the end of this movie with, Batman and Mira and all the people who are still alive, because there's a brief vision of Diana is dead and Arthur is dead that Cyborg sees. And we would have had this happen where they have to stop Superman. They have to go back and they have to fix everything. That would have led to the Flash going back in time to Bruce and saying, "It's Lois, she's the key," which would have then reset everything and everything would have been hunky-dory, which could have also set up the Flashpoint universe if they wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the plan. This was 2016, 2015, his plan. He had been setting up, and then everything happened. Then the world happened. So now we're in limbo. We don't know what's going to happen, but it doesn't sound like they're going to continue on with the Snyderverse, especially with the Matt Reeves Batman movie in production, post-production at this point.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Let's say, hey, we're going to do the Snyderverse now. Where do you want it to go?
I also want to throw in, like, I would like an air cut of Suicide Squad where it's not going to happen. And they've confirmed as recently as like today that that's not going to happen. But the initial premise, just to get it out there, was that the original pitch and script had Enchantress under control of a mother box, and that it was a boom tube instead of a machine. So it was going to be a much stronger direct tie to Justice League. But because they pivoted, because they shied away, they had to slap that movie together. and it is what it is. But I would love to, having seen Justice League, see the original vision of Suicide Squad as well.
That's fair.
So I know Zack Snyder said his plans for the third movie was Superman's child named Bruce, because when Flash goes back in time,
because he's a big Lenny Bruce guy.
Bruce Campbell, actually. Batman sacrifices himself to save Lois, which Bruce knows if he does that, he'll prevent the nightmare from happening. The son is named Bruce. The son has no powers. And
he has no powers.
He becomes the next Batman, which would have been really interesting to see if it involved him having a suit even close to Batman Beyond. I would have, I'd lose it. But I know he brought that up. I know that, the nightmare happens because Lois dies. And of course, the gut-wrenching scene of me seeing Batman die on screen after still getting over seeing Han Solo die on screen. Whew, that's a lot of weight.
I mean, I got to hear that Harley died off screen, so there's also that.
Yeah. But I think it would have been cool to see someone else take up the mantle as Batman. Obviously, not the person I would have picked to follow up Bruce Wayne or anything. That'd be stupid.
John, is there anywhere you would have liked to have seen this go other than the Ayer cut? Let's say they make the Ayer cut. Let's just pie in the sky this. We got all the money in the world. They do it. They make the Ayer cut. What do you want to happen next? Do you want the invasion movie? Do you want the nightmare movie? What do you want to do? Because I think you could scrap the nightmare movie and just do an invasion movie.
I don't know, because at this point, like, you've set up the nightmare across BVS and this movie. Like, do you instead do a movie where it ends with Batman sacrificing himself, but he and maybe other characters keep having flashes where, like, Wonder Woman dies because we saw the funeral pyre. Aquaman dies because we see Mera be like, what he did to Arthur and with the trident. Like, do you intersperse Nightmare in like a larger capacity throughout another movie and have it end with Batman sacrificing his life?
So what I was thinking
instead of an entire movie set in the nightmare.
So yeah, I don't think you could do a whole movie set in the nightmare. It just would be hard to watch, hard to look at. That's a very yellow.
And then you have the whole like, but it was all a dream. We got your $10. Like that's
right. What I think you do is instead you do not necessarily interspersed, but like parallel. Like they're both running side by side. They both have goals they have to get to. And, or they're something like that. I don't know exactly how you set up. I really haven't put enough thought into it for a plot standpoint. But I think you have them running side by side together. And then the ending is Batman sacrifices himself to save the universe.
I thought of a really cool way to do it too.
Let me hear it.
Like you keep it side by side parallel. Barry can go back and forth between the two of them. Because that's what we've seen, right?
So
we've already seen him do that. So,
and then the last when he comes back, it's the Flashpoint paradox.
But also, they're going and like Wonder Woman has a vision of something, and then later on, everyone has a vision, but like Wonder Woman doesn't, and that's because she died in the nightmare. And then as you're going, Aquaman no longer gets a vision because he then died in the nightmare, and it keeps going.
It's so dark.
That would be,
but like, isn't that a cool way to do it?
That'd be a really cool way, and then just kind of have. Maybe a build up to the whatever the big scene is in the nightmare, probably involving Batman, kind of like in Days of Future Past, right? Where the Sentinels break through.
They're breaking down the door, right?
Yeah, and the laser is right there before Mystique finally drops the gun, like that. But with Bruce jumping in front of what I imagine would be like Omega beams.
And that would still, quote unquote, like legitimize the nightmare that we've seen. It still would matter and have taken place, but it wouldn't be an entire movie of at least 2.5, 3 hours.
Right.
I'm super into that.
That would be amazing.
Either way, it bums me out, but I do hope that Zack Snyder gets to continue to make his movies.
I hope so.
Oh, I forgot an Easter egg real quick. This does talk about Zack Snyder's future. The boat that Aquaman rescues the people from is called the Cortland, which is a reference to the Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, which is Zack Snyder's like dream project is to make the Fountainhead. And maybe we see that from him. Maybe he's done with the DC and he just makes the Fountainhead now because this will give him clout. Like seeing all this critical acclaim will give him the
hot
clout
commodity
to do
at this point.
Yeah.
Because at this point, he's in the unique position of, here you go. Here's what you tried to do. And everyone's like, hey, this is actually amazing.
Yeah, this is actually.
So like he's in the unique position of like, your vision is actually really good.
Oh, okay. Tell you what, yes, we will sign a contract with you now. What do you want to do for that contract? You want to make the Fountainhead? Sure, we'll make the Fountainhead. Fine. Yeah,
so I think he's going to be a hot commodity for the next project or 3.
And honestly,
I don't know if he's going to be in the DCEU though. Like that's the thing is like the reality of the DCEU is like so troublesome because like, what do? Do you reboot with Flashpoint? They need
the Flash movie to start it over and do it right. They need it. It's the only thing they can do.
Because, well, like with Wonder Woman, right, everything's good because that's all in the past. That's all before Justice League. You'd have to retcon that one continuity error with Aquaman, and then we'd see what happens with Shazam to follow suit.
Yeah. Or you set Aquaman after Flashpoint, and that's why Mara's father is back, and her accent changes too.
I mean, the Flashpoint created the New 52, where some things were there, some things were not. You don't have to explain why things are different.
Yeah,
you can just explain. You don't have to explain a single thing. That's great. But something real quick about Zack Snyder. I know that he gets a lot of flack for being kind of like a bro and making like bro movies and like taking the Watchmen like the wrong way. Because like it's almost seems like he idolized Rorschach when you shouldn't, because he's like a bad person. I mean, I don't think anything that Zack Snyder does is because he's got a bad heart. I think that he makes choices that are not everyone's cup of tea. But from everything I'm hearing about him and around him, everybody really likes this guy. And if just because his movies aren't your taste, that's fine. Kevin Smith is not for everybody, but no one ever has a bad thing to say about Kevin Smith other than he smokes a lot of weed. No one really has a bad thing to say about Zack Snyder. And I really hope that remains true. But if that is the case and Zack Snyder is this good person that he is being portrayed as right now, I wish nothing but the absolute best for him and his wife, Debbie. Absolutely. I hope they both have nothing but positive experiences from here on out and all the success in the world. Not just because of Justice League, because of who they are as people, if that is the case.
It was really nice to see all of these, like the Russo brothers and Matt Reeves all just tweeting like, hey, we're watching the Snyder Cut. Congrats, Zach, on finally getting your vision out. We're so excited to see this movie. And, people praising it for being, it's really, it's really good. It's a long movie, but it's really good. And I enjoy the one meme that you see. Oh, Snyder Cut's too long. Proceeds to sit down and watch 8 episodes of 30-minute television show.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing, like, people will. The only real thing I'm hearing bashed on, well, now is the amount of slow motion, but like, the man has a style. You knew what his style was. I have no other words. The other
his
thing
style is not. His style is not racism or misogyny or any of those things.
Correct. It's 100%
it's just a style. It's just aesthetics. There's plenty of directors out there who make legitimately bad things. Like we should get off of Zack Snyder's back a little bit. You don't have to like everything he's made, but like, my God, like he doesn't want to hurt anybody.
That style added a lot to Flash scenes, to the Wonder Woman scene with her tracking the bullets.
I love that scene so much,
where she blocks all those bullets to save all those people before she flies. And I totally forgot that she knew how to fly because it was in the past. And well, I was big dumb.
Hey man, you're the one who keeps bringing it up.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's got to.
No, they don't.
Hashtag Matt Big Dumb 84.
The last thing we forgot to mention in changes is the score. So originally it was Junkie XL doing the score. For the redone Justice League, the theatrical release Justice League, it was Danny Elfman. Joss Whedon brought Danny Elfman in. Nothing against Danny Elfman. Great composer. They brought
featuring like Icky Thump for no reason.
It's very light. But that's not him. That's not, he doesn't pick the music choices. He just composes original score.
It was cool to hear the Batman, the 1980 Batman theme.
That was cool.
That was probably the only thing I liked about his score.
Yeah. What was cool about this one was Junkie XL came in and got to finish his score for the movie. originally because he did Batman vs Superman and he did a great job. So he got to come back in and finish his job here. And what's really cool is in Man of Steel, the Man of Steel theme, the Superman theme, the new one, never hits its full crescendo. In this movie, when Superman shows up and stops the axe from hitting Cyborg and just says, "I'm not impressed," the Man of Steel theme hits its crescendo for the first time. And oh man, is that scene absolutely slap.
Yeah.
Junkie XL, you crushed it.
He worked with Hans Zimmer, who is
Hans Zimmer.
like everybody at this point, right? Everybody knows
All
who
of
he
Nolan's
is.
movies, like all of Nolan's movies, period.
Like the
Man of Steel,
the Dark Knights, the Man of Steel, Inception, Interstellar.
Yeah.
Like he's like, there are two people that Christopher Nolan calls when he's making a movie: Hans Zimmer, Michael Caine. Every time.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, to end this episode, I think we have to do this. Now that the Snyderverse has wrapped up to a point where we're pretty sure it's going to be, we can revisit this later, but for right now, it's at a pretty clear ending point, and the DCEU is where it is. Let's rank the DCEU from worst to best.
Oh, worst to best. Okay.
Let's go worst to best. Save the best for last.
Got it.
Gentlemen, what do you have as your... So there are 12 movies on this list. Matt has 10, but there's 12 movies. And the reason there's 12 movies is because there is technically, what is it, 8 movies?
There's 8 movies,
4
and
of them,
then, 4 alternate
3
cuts.
of them. 3 of them have alternate cuts.
4.
Or 4 of them,
4.
Whatever. Who cares, right? John, what is your least favorite DCEU movie?
Justice League.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I have Suicide Squad, the theatrical version.
Yeah, but that's got Harley Quinn. So, like, my hands are
Yeah, but
tied.
it's still bad.
I'm not saying it's good, but I'd rather watch it.
Yeah. So what's your 11th?
Batman v Superman theatrical.
Really?
It's very long, very jarring, and like
No, that's, yeah.
it doesn't have
Mine
Harley
is
Quinn. I'm sorry.
Justice League, the theatrical Justice League. Number 10 for all of us. Mine is the Suicide Squad Extended Edition.
Mine is Suicide Squad theatrical.
Matt?
Mine is Joss Whedon's Justice League.
The Justice League.
The Justice League.
Number 9, John?
Suicide Squad extended cut.
Matt?
Batman vs. Superman.
Yep. Batman vs. Superman theatrical.
OG Batman vs. Superman.
Number 8, Matt.
Number 8 for me was Birds of Prey. Not that I didn't like it. I did enjoy that movie.
Okay. You're an idiot, but okay.
I need a minute. Anyway.
Okay, well, John, well, the pleb over there is talking by himself. What do you think the number 8 movie is?
I put Aquaman.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I put Shazam.
I get that.
It's good. It is what it is. Number 7, John.
Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut.
Okay. See, here's where I think I'm going to get yelled at. But Matt?
Aquaman, number 7.
Wonder Woman 1984.
I get it.
I get it though.
It's just okay. It's okay.
Hey man, it's not Birds of Prey in your bottom half. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen.
No, you're in the wrong.
Not everybody loves the shit out of that movie. Some people just
It's
thought it was
just was
fun.
a really
Look who's
solid,
saying
competent movie.
swears now, Matt. Number 6, Matt.
Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay, so there's only one. All right,
Yeah.
cool. John?
Shazam.
I have Aquaman there. I liked Aquaman better than 1984.
My like Shazam, BVS Ultimate, and Aquaman is like they're really tied, but I had to put one over the other
Sure. Number 5, John.
Wonder Woman 1984.
Okay. Matt?
Shazam.
I have Birds of Prey at 5. Matt, 4.
4. Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Cut.
Same. It's exactly the same that I have.
I think we're gonna have the same top
John.
4.
Man of Steel.
Okay.
Okay.
My number 3 is Man of Steel. Matt, I assume your number 3 is also Man of
My
Steel.
number 3 is Man of Steel.
It's a perfect movie. John, what's your number 3?
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Wow. Matt, what is our number 2?
Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut. John, what is your number 2?
Wonder Woman.
Wait, what's your number 1?
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Thank you.
No.
Yes, easily.
Wonder Woman's the best one.
Knowing John though, like, yeah, that's his number
Wonder
1.
Woman's perfect. No, Wonder Woman's perfect.
Yeah, it's my list, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's
I'm
his
sorry.
list.
Yeah, shut
Just
up.
like my
I
list
said
is
what
my
I
list.
said.
Yeah, but I'll argue with John and have a fun debate. Matt, you're an idiot.
No, I'm not. Just because I didn't enjoy a movie as much as you do.
All right. You know what, folks? You know who's not an idiot? You for listening. We appreciate you for listening. Thank you so much. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the places. Instagram is probably the place where I post the most because it is me doing all the posting. So I have Instagram ready to go on my phone. It's very easy to share from there. But be sure to check us out everywhere. Give us a like. Give us check us on YouTube. Leave us a review. Those are super helpful. And continue to listen and share us with your friends. And just remember that we are here. We are here. We love you, and you are not alone. Just like Zack Snyder said to his daughter, we are saying it to you. You are not alone. We love you, and we care about you. Guys, do you have anything to say before we leave?
Hit that subscription bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
John?
know. It's, go see it if you, for some reason, listen to this and haven't seen it. I don't.
see it
I think
again.
you did yourself a huge disservice, but like,
Yeah.
you live your life, live your best life. It's great. I'm very excited to see where we go for the future. I just hope that WB and whoever is in charge has a roadmap and they don't deviate from the roadmap. That's what we
great,
learned.
John. And I'd like to win the lottery, but that's not gonna happen.
Hey, someone's gonna lotto. Might as well be you.
I'm all right with that. All right, with that, that's the podcast this week. Everyone stay safe, and we will see you next time when we cover...
Oh, Rock of Ages, Justice League.
I thought you were doing the thing. I thought you were
we were
singing.
doing-
Well, I sang it last time for WandaVision. Also, like,
Oh,
Big
God,
Psych.
you absolute nerd. Absolute nerd. All right, bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye. You can follow us on Twitter at Talkin' Trades. You can follow Jeremy on Twitter at LizardKing27. You can find John on Twitter at Maesterlaka, Maesterlaka. And for this and other projects from Matt, please check out Facebook at Matt Spina Music. And remember, we're not experts, we're fans.